So we've already talked about all of this major breaking news, and it's powering names that you wouldn't be that you'd be surprised about. Utilities and industrials, right? And I got to tell you, right now they both stand to see generational windfalls. All of this as the race for AI dominance becomes even more intense. Now, my next guest has talked about energy as a strong proxy for AI and says that every tech portfolio, you've got to have exposure to energy names. So I'm going to bring in IO Fund lead tech analyst, Beth Kindig. And Beth, so here's the thing. When you say energy, do you mean mostly nuclear power, utilities? Is there room for alternatives and natural gas as well?
Yes, Charles. Great to see you, as always. Alternatives and natural gas have a quicker time to power. So we need nuclear for the longer term picture, but we really do need natural gas and alternatives for the more immediate term. And to that point of time to power, even Bitcoin mining operations are now being retrofitted for the data centers so that data centers can get that quick time to power. There was a big acquisition from CoreWeave where they acquired a Bitcoin miner so they could get immediate power. So look for those kinds of moves as we go over the next 1 to 2 years.
We had a guest on yesterday. IREN was one, I think, CIFR and another. I mean, these are small names, but they've been making these huge moves, and I think they also have big short positions against them. Are you buying any right now?
Yes, I am more positioned for that time to power. I really like the next 1 to 2 years for energy. And the reason for that is if you look at NVIDIA's GPUs, we are going to 3x to 5x on those rack scale systems between right now and 2027. By the time we get to what's called Rubin Ultra, that's a generation of GPUs that will be out in 2027. We're talking 5x power requirements. I really want to be positioned there because of the stress that's going to put on the electrical grid.
You know, what's interesting, this year industrials are by far the #1 sector. Today they're the #1 sector, even more so than utilities. I don't know that a lot of folks who want to play the AI theme have enough exposure there.
Yeah, that's a great point. Of course, I would like to point out that I think AI stocks are beating all of them. Energy, like I said, energy is really more of that 2026, 2027. And I'm timing that on NVIDIA's generation of GPUs and those power requirements for each generation. I would really look at that 2026, but be positioned well in advance kind of idea.
So I saw in your note that you talked about the need for government to increase power supply. And, you know, we think about the grid, how been a lot of grabs, 100-year-old grid. We had a big auction yesterday. The prices are going up. Does it all fall on government, or should private industry fork over some cash since, they're going to be major beneficiaries?
I think we will see it from all angles. I would go so far as to call it a crisis. The United States, we are full of innovators. We really need to resolve this problem so that we can continue to innovate. It is the bottleneck right now. And
I want to ask you about two stocks, because I think you might have been the first that mentioned Astera Labs. Now I've got subscribers in it. It's been a juggernaut. It pulled back a little bit yesterday. I'm not even sure why. But is it still something that you're holding on to, or are you still long?
Yes, it is my #1 position. And the reason to keep it very simple is the total addressable market. They not only participate in NVIDIA's GPUs, those merchant GPUs, but also custom silicon. It is really the best of both worlds. And no matter where you fall in the debate of where the future is with AI accelerators, Astera Labs is participating.
And Coinbase.
Yeah, the interesting part about Coinbase is they are everywhere that crypto is going. Stable coins, they're there. They have a base layer 2, and they're launching a new app. Watch out, your traditional fintech players, even so far as to say Chase Bank or MasterCard, Visa. They're eating into those traditional finance players' market share. It's just beginning. We really like Coinbase.
It's so amazing. That's a duopoly that we thought was impenetrable. And to your point, those stocks have looked a little wobbly here in the last couple of months. Beth, thank you so much. Always appreciate your expertise.